They told you Obama was a hope and change president. But what they didn't tell you is far more complicated. And that complexity is exactly what history has buried. Let's start with what the mainstream media won't touch. In January 2009, the United States was hemorrhaging 700,000 jobs per month. The economy was collapsing. According to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, without Obama's American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, unemployment would have peaked at 10.7%. Instead, it peaked at 10%. That may sound like a small difference. It's not. That 0.7% difference translates into roughly 2.3 million Americans who didn't lose their homes, who kept their families intact, who avoided the descent into poverty. By 2017, the U.S. had added 11.6 million private sector jobs. The unemployment rate had fallen to 4.6%, the lowest since 2007. The Dow Jones doubled. These are documented facts from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Millions of working families got their lives back because of deliberate policy choices. That's not spin, that's data. But here's where it gets complicated. While Obama was signing the Affordable Care Act in 2010, covering 20 million previously uninsured Americans according to Department of Health and Human Services records, something else was happening that nobody talks about. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, on January 23, 2009, just 3 days into his presidency, as Obama authorized his first drone strike. 2 strikes, 3 hours apart, in Waziristan, Pakistan. As many as 20 civilians died. Most people think the drone program belongs to Trump or Bush. They're wrong. According to investigative journalism documented by the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, Obama authorized 563 drone strikes across Pakistan, Somalia, and Yemen during his 8 years in office. That's 10 times more than Bush carried out during his entire presidency. In 2010 alone, Pakistan experienced 128 C-1 drone strikes that killed at least 89 civilians. Think about that contrast. The same president who was desperately trying to get health care to 20 million Americans was simultaneously approving lethal drone strikes, some called signature strikes, where the CIA could fire at suspicious gatherings of suspected militants without actually knowing who they were. According to research documented by the Eagleton Political Journal, found these weren't precision strikes on confirmed targets. They were strikes on patterns of behavior that fit a terrorist profile. And they killed hundreds of civilians in countries we weren't technically at war with. His first strike in Yemen was supposed to target Al-Qaeda. According to the Washington Post, it killed 55 people, including 21 children and 12 pregnant women. That wasn't an anomaly. That was how the program worked. What made it even more remarkable was that Obama, the candidate who won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2009 for his vision of a world without nuclear weapons, was by 2013 creating a system so secretive, so unaccountable, that he developed what his administration called a kill list. Names of people to be targeted for death strikes with virtually zero congressional oversight. The Washington Post documented that Obama once told his advisors he was surprisingly good at killing people. Not deporting them, not capturing them, killing them. Now, here's the thing nobody wants to discuss. These things existed simultaneously. The economic recovery was real. The healthcare expansion was real. But the drone expansion was equally real. The civilian casualties were equally real. The secrecy was equally real. By the time Obama left office, his administration had dropped 26,171 bombs across 7 countries in 2016 alone. Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan. Countries most Americans couldn't point to on a map. And while unemployment fell and more people had health insurance, we became a nation that killed people by remote control on an industrial scale. So what do we do with that truth? A president can be simultaneously responsible for pulling millions of Americans out of poverty through economic policy and for creating a lethal bureaucracy that took thousands of lives in the shadows. Both things are true. Both things matter. Oh, and both things have been erased from the mainstream conversation about his legacy. The question isn't whether you support Obama or oppose him. The question is, why does America get to pick and choose which parts of presidential legacies we remember? Why do we celebrate the job creation and ignore the civilian deaths? Why does one become the headline while the other becomes a footnote in academic journals nobody reads? His legacy isn't simple, it never was. And maybe that's the most important thing we need to understand about power in America, that it's complex, contradictory, and the cost of progress often falls on people in countries we never talk about and names we'll never know. What aspects of leadership do you think matter most when judging a president's legacy? Comment below. Because if we don't ask these questions, we're destined to repeat this cycle with whoever comes next. Like, share, and follow, because the full story is always more complicated than the headlines.